Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This is the first series for this channel. It's called Life in the Mine, and basically we'll go on to the origins of mining right until the end of the mining industry as we once knew it. Also, if you do like any of the videos in this series, do remember to give them a like and a share, and also subscribe should you so wish. This will be greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's go on to the first part of this series, which is titled An Ancient Industry. Men have been burrowing deep under the ground in Britain for more than 4,000 years. It all began in the New Stone Age, when tools such as axes and knives were made out of flint. Some flint could be picked up at the surface, but the very best lay under a thick layer of chalk. Around 2300 BC, miners began digging pits as deep as 40 feet, in an area known as Grimes Graves in Norfolk. From the bottom of the pit they dug narrow tunnels through the chalk and began excavating the flint, using antlers as pickaxes and animal shoulder blades as shovels. The only illumination consisted of little bowls made from chalk that would have been filled with animal oil and lit to produce a flickering flame. Altogether 300 to 400 pits were sunk. The Stone Age gave way to the Bronze Age and then the Iron Age. Now miners went in search of raw materials, the ores that could be smelted to make different metals. Copper and tin were used to make bronze and were mostly found in southwest England, and merchants came to Cornwall from as far away as the eastern Mediterranean to trade in the valuable metals. Ancient copper mines have also been identified at Great Orme's Head in North Wales. Here the miners had to cut through solid rock, and they used a technique known as fire setting. A fire was lit against the rock face and allowed to burn fiercely. When the rock became red hot, water was dashed against it, splintering the stone. A similar technique was used at iron mines such as those at Clearwell Caves in the Forest of Dean, Gloucestershire. The strange name Tall Man is a Derbyshire dialect for the old man, and was used by the lead miners of that area to describe their predecessors who had started the industry. It almost certainly started with the Romans, who really began the modern age of mining in Britain. They continued to work the older mines and also opened up new areas of exploration, such as the gold mines in mid-Wales. Here they introduced a whole new range of technologies. They began with a process called hushing. This involved creating a reservoir of water which could be released to cascade down the hillside, sweeping away the thin surface soil to reveal the veins of ore underneath. To get the water to the top of the hill in the first place, they had to construct aqueducts running many miles to the nearest river. They also bought in a new machine, the water wheel, to power pumps to drain water from the workings. The men who worked there enjoyed the luxury of a bathhouse, something British coal miners did not get on a regular basis until the second half of the 20th century. By the Middle Ages, mining of metals had become well established with its own laws and rules. The lead mining region of Derbyshire was owned by the Crown and known as Kingsfield of High Peak, governed by rules dating from the time whereof the memory of man runneth not to the contrary. Anyone could lay claim by setting up a scouse, a simple hand-operated winch used for winding material up from the mine over the spot. When the miner had enough ore to fill an official dish, which held just under 500 cubic inches, equivalent to 8 litres, he took it to the barmaster. If the barmaster approved, the miner could make his claim. He was allowed a length of land extending 1 mere, which is about 30 yards, either side of his scouse. Now he could get to work using the simplest of tools, pickaxe, hammer and wedge, for splitting rock. In the church at Wirksworth There is a carving of a tall man dressed in a long tunic over hose with a skull cap to protect his head. When the ore was brought to the surface, it had to be dressed to separate the valuable ore from the waste. This job usually went to women who broke up the ore with a 6-pound hammer. Once most of the waste was removed, the pulverised ore was put into a jigger, a perforated box that was shaken in a tub of water. This resulted in the heavy lead-bearing material sinking to the bottom. Mining was still largely undertaken by individuals who worked their own claims, rather than by organised companies during this period. And there you go, folks. There ends the first chapter of Life in the Mine. And the next one will be looking at the deep pits and underground rails. So until the next video, please remember to give it a like, share and subscribe. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this, and goodbye for now.